My name is McLean, and this is a documentary on the relationship between producers and musicians in the studio. We will be looking at how confidence and preparation play a key role in the recording process, be it musicians taking criticism or the producer motivating the band into producing the best possible result.
Before I even get an artist into my studio, I like to build the relationship up with them by just small talk, maybe just start off with a friendly email, just asking a bit more personal questions.
And also trying to sound knowledgeable, and I don't know, there's a fine line, like I say, between encouragement and just guys stop fighting about, just do it, you know.
Are you guys ready?
Are we ready, guys?
You've got to be serious at the right time, but I think trying to make it a bit of fun is quite key as well. If you say it's not quite right and actually play it back to them, the chances are they might agree. But if genuinely you can spot something and they haven't spotted it, it makes you look good as well.
I'm working with some artists and say their singing's a bit off, and they might have a bit of an adverse reaction to me telling them that they're singing badly. So.
And Tom, can you hear yourself because you're singing a bit flat?
I could do a bit more.
You could do a bit more. Yeah, I think the tempo might still be a bit slow. You're just varying off of the tempo a bit.
I usually work around it by finding the good points in what they've just sung. So I've got the recording and I'll set, like, the first line will be great, but it's that next note that they'll have just sung 2 notes flat.
Yeah, when they said that I was playing off the beat, it's never a nice thing to hear from a drummer's perspective, because you work all the time in the practice room making the click disappear, so being that you're on it. So yeah, it made me think about whether my practice time was being worthwhile.
Not being told sort of positive things, just the negative things.
Yeah.
You make mistakes that you never made before.
Yeah, you think that affects your confidence, so you kind of...
You think a lot more than you play.
Yeah, so as the session went on, it got a lot more rigid. Because we're all trying to get on the beat, and we're all trying to sing in key. Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I mentioned earlier, like, I mean, that sounds good, but like, can you do this instead? I mean, that sounds nice, but unless it doesn't sound nice, and then you probably need to get a new bass player. You can, if you do something wrong, you stop, sort it out, work it out. Whereas if you're in the studio, I mean, there's a certain element of being able to do that, but there's the pressure that you've got to get good takes, I guess.
If I was working with a really strict producer, I think I'd definitely go back to work with him again, because I'd rather have someone who's honest.
Yeah, like tell you how it is.
And is making us make it spot on, rather than someone go, yeah, that's alright, that'll do.
7-6 hour recording session and you get nothing but negative comments. It's really deflating.
Yeah.
And then the energy in the music won't show through.
Yeah.
If you don't keep getting encouraged and more.
I could certainly see, like, if I had a 3-hour vocal session, like doing a track, with no positive reinforcement. Yeah.
I like playing in my bedroom in comparison to playing in the studio, because there's no real pressure to deliver the perfect take every time. I can do takes in my own time. If I make a mistake, I can just stop it, go back, re-record it, or drop myself in. There's none of trying to explain what I want to do to a producer. It's just all one kind of process. So. And also with a producer, he can tell you when, or she can tell you when you're making mistakes or when you're doing things that they really, really like, and give you encouragement, which obviously really helps a lot when you're trying to deliver that perfect take.
When you're practicing, you can stop, and when you're live, it's done. If you made a mistake, that's it. But I mean, there's always opportunity for another take if you're playing in the studio.
Like some of my clients, I can speak to them and have a joke and swear and just like they're my mate, but other people, you've got to treat them like they're a client because they want the professional experience. So you've got to sit down, you ready to record, miss, and all of that kind of nonsense, and you can't really have a good time with it. But if that's what the people want, that's what they want. You've just got to read that somehow, I suppose. That's the hardest part.
They need to hear some, you're doing okay, mate, but let's have a break kind of scenario. It's hard, don't worry, I'd find that difficult, we'd all find that difficult kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a kind of direct, kind of well done, you're doing really, really, really well, because sometimes people just see through that and they just see it's patronizing.
Yeah, it's alright, man.
I think for the gang
So can you just do like with the like music, just go like duh duh rather than yeah. So when I am recording in my bedroom, one of the benefits is if I know I'm doing a bad take and know I'm not playing it well, I can always take a break, come back to it when I feel like I can play it better. Whereas when you're in a studio working with a producer, they're going to keep pushing you to get that perfect take, which doesn't always work. It works for some people and not for others. And so when I'm recording in my bedroom, I've got that freedom to say, okay, I can't do this right now, I'll come back and do it later.
There's a fine line, like I say, between encouragement and just, guys, stop farting about, just do it, you know. Sometimes that needs to happen. But you don't have to say it, you just kind of imply it. It's kind of like, if you're the other side of the glass, you can just kind of go, no, I think you could do another take.
Well, the first two lines are great. Do you mind if we do another take just to get the rest of it as good as that? So it's kind of taking the negative and phrasing it in a positive way because we can still resurrect it, I suppose. But that's how they see it. And then whereas with other people, you could say, like, when they've done a bad note, you can just be like, well done, you fucked up. Nicely done. And then they'll have a laugh, you'll have a laugh, and it'll put them maybe a bit more at ease with you as well, which will only help in getting them to sing that note that you want perfectly.
Well, yeah, getting the energy in your into your playing in the studio. I don't know. I find it a lot harder because as a performer, I tend to feed off the crowd quite a lot. If they're enjoying it, then I'm enjoying it. Just a bit of a circle, I guess. I tend to perform better than them. Probably not a good thing. I want to be performing my best all the time. But maybe I am. Maybe I just enjoy it more when everyone else is enjoying it. Get into it a bit more.
So if you were in the studio and there was loads of people in the studio watching you playing bass,
that's different though, isn't it? Because there's more pressure. I guess it depends what kind of gig you're at as well. If you're watching like Mike Stern or like Pamathine or these jazz gods, I don't particularly like, but I know they're pretty shit hot musicians. Then I guess the standard's going to be a lot higher than if you're watching Metallica. I've seen Metallica last year, absolute pile of dog shit. Everyone seemed to love it, so.
I've had a session before where the producer was like, yeah, that's great, listen to the track back, it's awful. It's the most pointless thing ever.
A very good thing to compliment your artists at the end of your recording. During the recording, like, definitely if they've achieved something magnanimous like hitting a high F or something like that, give them like, oh my god, that's amazing. But usually you just wait until the end because you don't want to get all confident and cocksure.
Stations
going to have so much editing to do on my phone. I've already been recording for 10 minutes.